What is React? React is a JavaScript library for building user interfaces. It's developed by Facebook in 2013 and currently it's the most popular library for building a UI. Using React, you can build single-page, mobile, or server-rendered applications. React allows you to write maintainable and performant code by using the concept of components. When you look at a website or any application, you see that it's made of parts that perform different functions, like a navigation bar, a button, or anything that shows information or has a functionality. This is the part that React's component-based approach comes into play. When using React, you build these pieces individually and then assemble them to create a complete user interface. Components allow you to focus on describing the UI you want to see on the screen, rather than focusing on the details of how the UI actually gets inserted in the page. And because of that, you will be typing significantly less code than you would be using plain JavaScript. But what is a component exactly? Components are basically JavaScript functions. These functions return HTML and it's written in JSX. JSX stands for JavaScript XML, a special syntax that combines JavaScript and HTML together. Just like HTML, JSX tags can have tag names, attributes, and children. If an attribute is wrapped in curly braces, that means the value is a JavaScript expression. When you create a component, it needs to start with a capital letter. That's how you know it's a component when you see it. Passing data around in React is also pretty easy. If you want to pass data into a function, you pass a props argument and then you can reference it in the HTML tags inside braces. Using curly braces inside HTML tags is basically a window to JavaScript. You can put objects and call functions inside. React has lots of built-in functions which are called hooks. Hooks can change, update, remember, and manipulate data, and they are one of the core concepts of React. To have a better understanding of hooks, let's take a quick look at one of the most important and frequently used one: use state. Use state lets you add a state variable to your component. You need to import it first, and then you should call it at the top level of your component like this. It returns an array with exactly two values. The first one is the current state. During the first render, it will match the initial state you have passed inside here. And the second one is the set function that will update the first one and trigger a re-render. The convention is to name state variables like something, set something, to make it easier to understand that we are dealing with a state change. As I mentioned earlier, there's a lot of other hooks that we use quite often, like use effect, use context, use reducer, and use memo. Hooks are a very broad topic, and I will be explaining these hooks one by one in the future videos, so don't forget to subscribe if you like to watch it. A React application has at least one root component that is inside the main project file, which represents and renders the whole application. It contains all the other child components and basically creates a tree of components. So how do you create a React app? There are many ways to do it, and the most simple but a little slow way is to use CRA, which is literally create React app. To use this command, you need node.js and npm installed. In command line, type npx create-react-app and choose a project name, and the project will be ready in a couple of minutes. Nowadays, CRA is not the most efficient thing to use because how slow it is, so you may want to use Vite, which is more popular and way more faster than CRA. Open the terminal in whichever IDE you prefer to use. Type npm create Vite at latest and then choose React with JavaScript. Wait until the files are ready and type npm install to install required dependencies. And there you have it. That's how you start to create a React project. Most of the popular website and applications like Netflix, Facebook, PayPal, and bunch of others are using React because of its simplicity and flexibility. Another reason why React is so big is its massive open source community and incredible amounts of supportive libraries surrounding it. Because React itself doesn't have some of the features you might need, like state management, animation, routing, but there are tons of libraries that you can find to get it done. This is a massive advantage that React has over other libraries. For example, if you need server-side rendering, you have Next.js. For state management, you have Redux. You want to build a static website, there's Gatsby. You want some fancy-looking animations, you have Spring. So basically, your choices are endless. And React also has a framework called React Native to build cross-platform mobile applications. That means when you start to build a mobile app with React Native, you don't have to code the same application for both Android and iOS. You built it once and you can run it natively on both platforms. That was React in 5 minutes. Thank you for your time, and I will see you on the next one.